ranking upcoming video game movie adaptations by how excited I am for them. In last place, it has to be Five Nights at Freddy's 2. In my opinion, I was not a fan of the first movie whatsoever because I just found it to be so incredibly boring. Like, absolutely nothing happens for about 95% of the film. I know this is kind of blasphemous to say, but I never really got hugely into Five Nights at Freddy's. I couldn't get myself into the games or the lore or any of it. I'm so happy that there is a huge fan base that loves these movies, but they're just not for me. And number 8 is the Sims movie, which is honestly the biggest wild card on this entire list. It's being produced by Margot Robbie and directed by Kate Herron, but that's not where my concern comes in. My concern comes in is that how on earth do you turn the Sims into a movie? They literally do not talk. That's their entire thing. I feel like it's just going to be similar to the Barbies, like, oh, a Sims now in the real world. Which I'm not going to lie, I don't want to just see the same Barbie plot rehash with various different toys and video games in the future, although it does seem like what's going to happen. At number 7 is the infamous Minecraft movie, because yes, the trailer for this thing looks absolutely horrible, but I'm not going to lie, it's kind of funny because of how bad it is, and it does seem partially goofy on purpose just because of the pure ridiculousness of the trailer. It's definitely lower on my list, but I do feel like even if this thing is a terrible train wreck, it's going to be an absolute blast to watch just for all the memes alone. Hey, who knows? Maybe we're just being absolutely duped by this goofy trailer and it's going to actually be a really funny movie and become a staple. Either way, it's going to be absolutely massive, so I'm not really excited for it, but at the same time, I kind of want to see it. Number 6 is Return to Silent Hill. I feel like Silent Hill has been begging to get a good movie or TV adaptation for so long, and it just hasn't happened. Hopefully this is the one, and this can really stick the landing, because it just feels like a franchise that could so perfectly be translated over to a really great movies franchise. Number 5, we're starting to get into some real heavy hitters here, starting off with Watch Dogs. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even know this was getting a live action movie until today, because the news just came out that it apparently already wrapped filming. If you don't know, the video games are about these various hackers kind of going around cities, and they can pretty much just hack like everything. I always loved the concept of these games, especially when I was younger, but I could never get myself to fully be invested in the video games themselves, so hopefully the movie can capitalize on this concept. We know Tom Blythe, who was just in the Hunger Games prequel, is going to be starring in this. Again, it's really one that could go either way. This could just be a super lame Netflix generic feeling movie, or it could actually be a really original blockbuster based on a video game, and I hope it's the second one. Number 4 is Sonic 3. This is obviously the one coming out the soonest on this entire list. As you know, I'm not the biggest fan of the first two Sonic movies, but I don't dislike them in any way. They're just perfectly fine. They have some really funny moments in them, and they're pretty good adaptations, so I hope this one is just the best of the trilogy, because honestly, it seems like it's going to be based on the trailer. Plus, even though I'm not the biggest into Sonic, I did play a lot of the games before in my life, and Shadow has always been one of my favorite characters in Sonic, so I really hope they do this character justice. And like I said, the trailer looks really promising for this one, so my hopes are getting higher and higher by the days. Number 3 is Until Dawn. If you don't remember, this was a horror game that took the world by storm probably like 10 years ago at this point. It's one of those like choose your own options and make your own choices, and they affect the ending of the video game and who lives and who dies by the end. It's gonna make it interesting because most video game adaptations either completely stray away from the source story or change things intentionally, but this one has so many multiple different endings, I really don't know which one they're gonna choose. The cast for the original video game was absolutely loaded. You had like Hayden Panettiere in it and Rami Malek. I just hope they find some good actors to fill in these roles. I absolutely love the games. It's kind of like that cliche, just like a bunch of teens on vacation in the woods, but it does it in a really fun way, and I absolutely loved watching Jeff play this back in the day. Real ones know about that playthrough. Number 2 is The Legend of Zelda live action movie. No, Tom Holland is not going to be playing Link. I just found this picture to be absolutely hilarious, but this I'm super excited about. This has so much potential. I've been wanting it ever since we got the Mario movie announced. The director of this is Wes Ball, who, if you don't know, he just did the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes movie earlier this year, which is one of my favorites of the year still. I was absolutely blown away by it, and I really feel like his style and visuals particularly are going to work so perfectly with The Legend of Zelda. It's such a rich franchise from Nintendo, so many great characters in it, and I cannot wait to do it. I hope they nail the casting for Link and Zelda. That's going to be so important. Let me know in the comments below which video game adaptation you're most excited to see, but my number 1 is the Ghost of Tsushima live action movie, because not only is the video game itself absolutely cinematic and there's so much potential here, it's really because of the director, because they absolutely nailed it. Because yeah, they brought in the director of the John Wick movies to do this. His style and his action in particular is gonna blend so perfectly in with this world, and I cannot wait to see what he cooks with this. If you like this video, I'd really appreciate if you went and watch my ranking of every upcoming Disney movie. I have it linked right below me, and thanks for watching.